My name is Edith Wilson, and I was not the first female president. Until Woodrow wakes up, I decide what is and isn't allowed.
This office is amazing. A big green oval and not a corner in sight. This is the first time in either of our young lives.
Oh, I love that you call me young. Keep going.
Q-Code and Crooked Media present Edith, starring Rosamund Pike. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, showtime. You ready?
Born ready.
Great. Did you bring the dongle?
What's a dongle?
Never mind. We'll just show them on your laptop.
I was supposed to bring my laptop?
Don't panic. You shared the presentation with me, right?
I forgot.
Well, if you log in, then we can...
My password. I was about to say I forgot my password.
You ordered the food through EasyCater, right?
Yes?
We'll be fine.
Food can make or break a presentation, so make sure you order at EasyCater.com. Individually packaged food delivered right on time. How? EasyCater.
And presented by Chafe & Luhana, Injury Law Firm, doing good by doing right. We are on the air.
Yes, we are.
Still getting adjusted to doing shows while Pirates games are happening.
And with cameras trained directly on both of us individually.
And with Craig. Because Zane Grilly has Pirates pre- and post duty.
Correct. And now you're back in the saddle after I hijacked the show for 2 days. Especially on Monday when I literally played back in the saddle and forced a Cleveland Browns and anti-Ben agenda on you.
You did. Yes.
How did it feel?
Foisted on me.
How did it feel?
Predictable, obvious. I knew it was coming.
No. Not like the topic matter, of course. Or like the mystery guest.
Relaxing. I think we should do it once a month.
See, I think you strike me as a guy.
No, I don't think it was a one-time thing.
Likes to be in control.
I do like to be in control, but once in a while, a change of pace.
So basically, Mulsey Monday is a chance for you to relax, kick your feet up, and have a palate cleanser.
It's like sometimes you role play with your wife. You ever do that? Just to change things up? Craig, you role play with your wife? He's not listening. He has no idea what I just asked him.
No.
Oh. He heard wife and then just said, well, her two favorite letters are N-O in succession. I think I'll just go with that.
When you said role play with your wife and you applied it to Craig immediately, all I could think of was there's about 20 different joke avenues for me to pursue here. I don't know which one to go with.
Can you pinky swear me through the glass on this one so you have to tell the truth?
Yes.
When you are off Pirates pre- and post game and Zangrilli is on it, and you get a chance to listen to it, like let's say you listen to the pregame before you come in here with us, do you root for a flub? Do you root for a flub so they share it? But I think with any goaltending tandem,
or I think of
any
like the old
position battle in any sport,
how about
any
Florida
platoon
quarterbacks, where Steve Spurrier used to go like Doug Johnson and Danny Werfel. He'd have two QBs in there, right? You
want the team to do well, so you want the broadcast to sound good, I guess, but you also want everyone to think you're better than Dan.
Do I root for more opportunities to present themselves for me? Is that what you're asking?
I think you just answered the question.
I mean, Pony, you're very secure in your position here. You're a big national star. We all respect and love your work. I prefer
a big national star who did 3 segments off his phone on Saturday. Yeah, that's national star Andrew Filipponi, all right.
Well, you had to be on national radio to be in that position. My point is this.
Okay.
Did you root for a Mulsey flub just to reinforce?
No.
Because you were driving the show?
No, because...
No, but I was taking your role on the show.
Well, I was comfortable in that even if you did a great job, which I thought you did, it wasn't going to, light a spark and everyone was going to be like, let's flip it and have Chris lead all the time and have me sit back.
I would have been the one. I would have been the one to kibosh
You broadcast from home all the time, Andrew. I figured that Craig did that he listened and he's like, come on, Dan, get a stat wrong here, please.
Adam Frazier batting right-handed? Are you kidding me?
Say diminutive Teddy's one more time.
Yeah. Did get a pail hose yesterday.
Oh, yeah, he threw a pail hose at us for sure.
Do we have that clipped off?
I can get it for you.
Thank you.
Maybe like 6:04, Craig?
Very early on yesterday.
It was early in the proceedings. There was a pail hose, and Craig and I were in the back still kind of commiserating and heard it.
Do you think you can, producing mastery, do you think you could get a sound effect for me here?
I can do my best, yeah.
Uh-oh.
I watched the hockey game last night.
Okay.
Most of the second period and the third period. Because Fleury went back in, And I'm torn. I've got some bets on Vegas that I'm rooting for. I have a long-term bet against Vegas, so it would help me if Montreal won. That would put money in my pocket.
Yes, it would.
Yep, you're aware of that one.
Yeah.
But I also root for him, the person. But I also root for things to go south there for him for a reason that I'm about to tell you about. Because what I hope happens this offseason is Vegas already knows the Penguins have had interest in Fleury over the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is Burke says, yeah, we like our two goalies, but all it takes is a phone call. So let's say Craig potted up the phone right now and just...
Did what to the phone?
Plotted up the phone.
Yeah.
And so let's just for a second here, just pretend like, all right, Kelly McCrimmon, the Vegas... Thank you. The Vegas GM.
Here, I can give you the dial tone.
He's gonna hit buttons, random ones.
Okay.
He's gonna make it sound.
Beep boop beep beep boop.
No, that's
beep,
your
boop,
stupid
beep.
computer.
Well, it's also a phone.
That's what you think a phone sounds like? Craig is going to create for us theater of the mind what it sounds. Kelly McCrimmon goes through his phone. All right, here's Ron Hextall, and then boop. Okay.
Why does it sound like little clicks and not the good sound there?
And then we might not be able to actually.
Craig, just call my phone if you actually want to get like the
there. Now we probably have to hang up. But anyways, that's where.
What if it actually was Kelly McCrimmon's number?
Hello?
He called himself.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
We can hear Craig.
It's Dr. Chim Richards.
Anyways, so.
Okay, so Burke or Hextall calls up McCrimmon and says, "Hey, buddy."
No, it's the other way around.
Or McCrimmon calls up Hextall.
Because they said all it takes is a phone call.
Yeah,
they got to be on the receiving end of it. They're not shopping Jari. They're not shopping players.
That they said publicly.
They're not shopping around for goalies. The goalie has to come to them.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas, this merry-go-round, this game of musical chairs, whatever. I guess musical chairs would be more apropos, wouldn't it be?
Goalie musical chairs?
Yes. Does Vegas have a goalie merry-go-round with Fleury, or is it goalie musical chairs where it's Leonard, it's Fleury, it's Leonard?
They better hope that they have one goalie playing now, and it's Leonard, because Fleury went.
Well, he wasn't good. Yeah. I don't know if you have to belabor the point and make it sound like he threw up on himself.
I mean, when we had Pierre on yesterday, I knew that there was a chance Fleury could start because people were tweeting about it, and I was just gobsmacked that they would go back to him after the way Leonard played in Game 4.
So it blew up in Vegas' face, and they're probably going to go back to Leonard. And it almost feels like to me that if Vegas loses or if they keep winning with Leonard, it's possible that Fleury has started his last game for them.
Which will be funny because that'll be in a season where he very possibly wins the Vezina, like Gentili told us.
And got benched.
Yep.
In the playoffs again. Controversially, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
But then got the chance that he didn't really get from Sullivan where he went back in
and biffed
at a moment's notice and failed.
Right.
Anyways, so this trade I had in my head. Vegas calls the Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
I want Chris Muller to tell me if he would make this trade.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Craig, you want to be Muller will be Hextall and you can be Burke. Because it's two guys. It's a collaboration. It's two guys working together.
Sure.
So I get to trump everything he does.
And I'm wearing orange like Hextall wore when he played.
Mm-hmm.
So this fits.
Because he's a Trojan horse
sent by Philly to destroy the Penguins from the inside out. Just like Jacoby Jones.
Actually, no. He was shamed by the Flyers and left. They fired him, and
because he was in L.A., that's where Burkle lives, so maybe he had become fully subsumed into Penguins.
Anyways,
yes.
So Vegas calls and says, look, we know you guys have made offers for Fleury before. We watched your goalie pass the puck to the other team in the playoffs and lose a game because of it. We're hoping you didn't watch Fleury do the same thing.
Yes, drop past the puck
in
to
Game
the
3.
Yes.
And get benched. But you need a goalie, and you guys believe in Fleury. You've won 3 Stanley Cups with him.
Mm-hmm.
We will trade you Marc-Andre Fleury.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vegas Golden Knights want, for starters, we want Casey DeSmith back in the deal. We want DeSmith as a piece in the deal because we want to put him with Leonard next year.
Okay.
So we want DeSmith to go with Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the big ask part of it.
Oh, no. I don't like where this is headed already.
And then we want Jake Gensel back.
No.
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 Just, that's an instant hang up. And is Burke Is Burke saying stay on the line, or is Burke telling Hextall to hang up the phone too?
He's hanging it up for him.
Thank you. Why am I trading my best
Is there a
goal
bleep
scorer?
no in there? Is there like a F-bomb?
There's
like,
expletives.
Is it like this is an insulting offer?
Basically.
Why?
So you're telling me
Yeah.
that for the low price of the backup goalie who, when he was healthy, was pretty solid and probably would have played in the playoffs and probably would have been passable enough to get you through the first-round series, and a player who merely had a bad series, where he's getting physically beat up, but is, I think at this point, your best natural
And he
goal
was
scorer.
bad in the playoffs the year before that, too.
But he's a legitimate 40-goal guy in the NHL.
But he gets thrown around like a rag doll when they don't call penalties in the playoffs and they're playing against very physical teams.
Which is a narrative that has only taken shape this year. Like, I didn't really hear that after his last bad playoff run. And he's also
the excuse last year was that he was coming off of surgery.
Yeah, it was major shoulder surgery. I remember hearing quietly from people he might never be the same. And then it looks
and what if he's not? Then you're trading damaged goods away.
No.
And you're getting Pittsburgh's favorite son, Marc-Andre Fleury, back in the deal.
Can you go back to your mom's house with the Buddha and the barking Smokey and all that stuff and the drum circle pot smoke in the air?
Maybe that's where this plan was hatched.
I think
maybe that's where this hypothetical trade was born.
There must grow interesting strains up that part of New York.
The money works. It's pretty much a fair exchange of dollars.
It's not a fair exchange of goods, though.
How?
You're saying...
Look who's still playing. Look at the goaltenders that are winning.
Look who might not be playing much longer because of Marc-Andre Fleury. He played bad last night. He gave away Game 3 to the Canadiens. It is as plausible to say, okay, if they lose this series, Vegas does, that Marc-Andre Fleury gave away the series every bit the same that Tristan Jarry gave away the Islanders series. Every bit. 2, I might add, a clearly
Fleury took down the
team.
Colorado Avalanche, the team that won the President's Trophy,
and that's
Mulsey.
very nice of him. And now he's about to lose to a team that had a significant losing record.
And he was the best goaltender in the regular season this year.
That's so cute.
And
Wonderful.
unlike Tristan Jarry, he's won Stanley Cups. And unlike anyone on the Penguins roster currently, he took an expansion team to the friggin' Cup final, Chris.
Did you hit your head while you were in New York?
No! I just don't. What is your elaborate plan?
Did your mom have like a gravity bong for you at the house?
What is your elaborate plan to get a goaltender then? Someone needs to call the Penguins. Oh, so you're just a complete defeatist about next year then, because they can't do anything with the goalies they have.
There's going to be a guy out there.
Who?
That Peter Mrazek is one.
Oh my God, Peter Mrazek is your garden variety average ho-hum goaltender. He didn't start in the playoffs,
How valuable is Marc-Andre Fleury to you if in the playoffs, after maybe he's really good in the regular season, because we know the playoffs are all that matters for the Penguins, how valuable is he to you if he turns into worse than a garden variety goaltender in the postseason?
He's won 2 playoff series this year. He didn't commit.
What have you done for me lately?
He didn't commit the Montreal folly in Game 3 of the first round.
What does it matter?
It matters a lot.
So because he got them to the precipice of the Cup final, but he might be the reason they go down to a bad team.
You can't say about Fleury.
All good for you.
You can't say about Fleury that he doesn't have the chops for the playoffs, because we've seen him this year get it done. We've seen him in the past get it done.
That melts down in the playoffs in the third round against a bad team or in the first round against a better team is still a goalie that melts down in the playoffs.
And he melted back against the Flyers.
Sure.
And he melted
against the Canadiens in 2010. He melted against the Islanders in 2013.
And then he redeemed himself and helped them win 2 Stanley Cups.
He barely did anything in 16.
Okay, 17.
And then he stole the Capitals series.
Yes.
And then got benched.
Yes. Because Mike Sullivan loved Matt Murray, and for good reason, because Murray was a clutch goalie at that point in his career.
What did Murray do in the last 2 games of the Stanley Cup final that year?
So now you want to trade for Matt Murray again? Let's bring him back? That's your idea?
No, I don't want to bring back...
That's way more far-fetched than bringing back Marc-Andre Fleury. There's a robust market for Fleury.
Turn his mic off.
And as Rob Rossi
I don't care
has
that
said,
he's leading the show. Turn his mic off.
You don't get to call those shots right now.
I'll call this shot. You gave me a little power, and now I'm drunk on it.
It's not Monday.
You know what? I'm trying to think of a very alliterative thing to say.
There isn't one.
Apparently, it's Weed
Wednesday
Wednesday for you.
Me as long as I don't sneak any F-bombs in here, say anything inappropriate.
Yeah, you did sneak an F-bomb. Fleury.
It's a big topic today.
You made it up whole cloth
The coach went to him.
You had Craig do a sound effect fake trade call just so you could bring up a way to get Marc-Andre Fleury back
Chris,
here.
Marc-Andre Fleury is in the news. Love it or hate it, you have to embrace it. He'll probably get moved this offseason. Do you want to get busy living or get busy dying?
Well, I know that I'll get busy doing the latter if Marc-Andre Fleury is my playoff goalie at some point.
So you trust Jari more than Fleury?
No, I don't trust either one of them. So why would I trade my best pure goal scorer
You trusted Marc-Andre Fleury up until like 5 days ago.
I didn't. I wasn't saying they're definitely going to win the Stanley Cup by any
but you
stretch.
had them beating Montreal.
Was playing well. He was because Montreal sucks, which is a further commentary on the fact that Marc-Andre Fleury will be the reason that they lose to an inferior hockey team. He literally gave Game 3 to the Canadiens. I
agree with that.
And then he gave them nothing when Peter DeBoer said, hey, I believe in you. Game 5s are huge. The team that wins Game 5 when it's 2-2 going
at home, he didn't get it done. I know.
Almost always wins the series.
I know.
And he vomited.
He did not vomit. He did not vomit.
All right, he wasn't good. He wasn't the reason that they won.
He had a 24-hour bug.
He had 24. Unbelievable. You're putting words in my mouth. You're coming up with farcical, hypothetical trade scenarios. No, thank you. I'll take my chances with whatever run-of-the-mill UFA is out there.
I can't believe you'd rather have Peter Mrazek than Marc-Andre Fleury.
I don't want Fleury back in a Penguins uniform. I know how that movie
Under
ends.
any circumstance.
Is he playing for $1 million?
No, he's paying for $7 million.
Great.
That's why if I package Gensel and DeSmith, I can make that happen.
Craig, you know what I like even more than the idea of a goalie getting paid $3.5 million and choking in the playoffs? A goalie getting paid twice that much, who everybody happens to love choking in the playoffs. I want you to be my accountant. Clearly, you've got a good fiscal handle on things. Why pay less for something that doesn't work when you can pay more for something that doesn't work? This is perfect.
Doesn't work.
He's going to win the Vezina, and it's not going to matter because he's going to be the reason Vegas doesn't have a chance to play for the Cup. Unless somebody else, like Matt Murray in 2016, or even Jeff freaking Zatkoff in 2016, bails them out.
What if Leonard went in and won Game 6 and 7, Fleury got back in for the Stanley Cup Finals and won it for him? You would still say, well, he didn't really win them the Stanley Cup? Of course, you'd have to say at that point
I would say Robin Leonard had more to do with them even getting to the Stanley Cup. And
if
Fleury,
stop.
In that scenario,
he took down Colorado. That was their biggest test.
Awesome.
He weathered the Avalanche storm.
They were paper Tigers.
They weren't. They look like a juggernaut. They look like the best team in the NHL until the Lightning, circumventing the salary cap, showed up.
Shut up. See, here you go with the Lightning again, bringing them into a conversation they have no place in.
At least I am someone that has some solutions in mind.
They're bad ones.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are, man. That is not a good solution.
Someone that is a proven winner and still in his mid-30s is playing as well as any goalie in the NHL, with the exception of what happened a few days ago. What?
You're giving me a total other than that, Mrs. Lincoln. How was the play about Games 3 and 4?
The good outweighs the bad with Fleury.
Do you trust Marc-Andre Fleury in your heart of hearts if he were to come back here? And you've made your team weaker because Jake Gensel's no longer on it.
But Jake Gensel doesn't show for the playoffs anymore anyways. To go back to your "what have you done for me lately" thing.
So wait, if you want to trade Jake Gensel because he hasn't shown up in the playoffs, why do you want to trade for Marc-Andre Fleury, who again has just gagged even more recently in the playoffs?
Because I need a goalie, and I need to bet on I need to take a shot on a goalie and a chance on a goalie right now.
It is one of your worst ideas. This is probably the worst trade proposal, and you make a lot of them, that you've ever made.
All right, I'll put it out on Twitter. You think they'll agree with me?
Yes, because they're all homers who love Marc-Andre Fleury more than they do their own family members.
They're homers that want what's best for the Penguins.
So they want Marc-Andre Fleury in a Penguins uniform.
They need a goalie antidote. They need a goalie
elixir.
Exactly. And you take that brick and mortar and you crush up some flour.
You take a mortar and pestle?
Whatever the hell that's called.
Yeah?
Yeah.
An apothecary gets in there, just makes them a little Fleury potion?
I mean, they're probably going to trade Gensel this offseason anyway, so you might as well get back someone that's going to backstop you for like 55, 60 games last year and win you
or you could hopefully get back like two
and
useful
then take your
forwards
chances
for Jake Gensel. Or make a hockey trade for a guy that's big, maybe not as naturally gifted as Gensel, but
and then when
really
that guy
good.
Scores you 40 goals and is still good in the playoffs, he'll be harpooned by Tristan Jarry in net again.
As opposed to being, again, harpooned by Marc-Andre Fleury.
You cannot lump Marc-Andre Fleury in with Jarry.
I can.
It is an insult.
And I did.
So you are willing to say, I put Tristan Jarry and Marc-Andre Fleury in the same sentence. They are both playoff goats and losers.
This year. Our own Shelby Cassesi tweeted it best. I didn't think I'd see something worse than Marc-Andre Fleury's gaffe.
So
and
you
then
don't
there
think,
was this.
So after all the second and third chapters, Fleury, and all the redemptive narratives in Marc-Andre Fleury's career,
book.
you don't think
No.
he's got one more left in him?
No, I don't want to read it
You
either.
think he's done?
It's like a young adult fiction
You know what
novel
else
I don't
you're
care
doing
about.
right now? You're lumping Marc-Andre Fleury in with your Roethlisberger take. That it's another late 30s player.
Oh, he's objectively better at his job right now than Roethlisberger is because he's probably going to win the award for best goaltender in the league, but it doesn't matter in the playoffs when he turns back into a pumpkin.
I'll tell you what, you make up your own. You get
Hypothetical
your own
trade
Yeah,
machine?
you get your own phone sound effect and try to run a trade by me and see how I'm gonna block it back in your face like who blocks things? Matumbo maybe.
Like
I don't know. I'm just so.
Well, you can't pick a Steelers offensive lineman for that
I'm
one.
so miffed that I didn't get any support.
That was mean.
I didn't get support from either one of you guys.
No, you did
I
not.
didn't even get you like, let me think
No,
about
I
that
didn't
for a
even
second.
consider it. No, it was a terrible idea.
So you guys just want status quo at the most important position in hockey. That's real cool,
That's
Craig.
a false equivalence.
Way to go.
Just because we're saying your trade proposal sucks doesn't mean
You want
we want the
Peter
status quo.
freaking Mrazek,
I just
man.
used a name.
And the name got you nowhere. It didn't strengthen your argument whatsoever.
That's because you got a case of Fleury fever and there's no cure.
I don't.
All right, showtime. You ready?
Born ready.
Great. Did you bring the dongle?
What's a dongle?
Never mind. We'll just show them on your laptop.
I was supposed to bring my laptop?
Don't panic. You shared the presentation with me, right?
I forgot.
Well, if you log in, then we can...
My password. I was about to say I forgot my password.
You ordered the food through EasyCater, right?
Yes?
We'll be fine.
Food can make or break a presentation, so make sure you order at EasyCater.com. Individually packaged food delivered right on time. How? EasyCater.